Hello, welcome to the Yellow River Post Office site, an interesting historical location just outside of Lawrenceville, Georgia. The Yellow River Post Office site is a Gwinnett County Public Park and is also on the National Register of Historic Places. The park is located on Five Forks Trickum Road between Killian Hill Road and Oak Road and features a post office and other structures built before the Civil War. This 5-acre historic park was once part of a 560-acre plantation owned by Thomas Hudson by members of the Nash family and now by Gwinnett County. Nestled under massive oaks, the Yellow River Post Office site is easily overlooked by those driving down present-day Five Forks Trickum Road. But stopping to view the historic buildings and natural beauty of this park can give us a rare glimpse into early 1800s life in Gwinnett County. It is interesting to note that when the Yellow River community was beginning to flourish, Atlanta was nothing more than a small railroad town centered around a frontier fort, and was known variously as Thrasherville, Terminus, and Marthasville until finally receiving the name Atlanta in 1845. The Yellow River community is named for the river that runs through it. In the early 1800s, Thomas Hudson, originally from South Carolina, moved his family to the banks of the Yellow River and soon built a farmhouse and some other structures, including a general store, which doubled as a post office, and which became a popular commercial center in the Yellow River community. In 1845, Mr. Hudson was a road commissioner tasked with establishing a road joining Stone Mountain to the already existing road which linked the Yellow River community to Lawrenceville, the county seat. Soon a stagecoach line ran from Stone Mountain to Lawrenceville and on to Gainesville. 3 days a week, the stage departed Stone Mountain at 7 a.m. and arrived in Gainesville at 5 p.m. One of the stops along the stagecoach road was undoubtedly Thomas Hudson's general store and the Yellow River Post Office. Mr. Hudson was a county surveyor who served several terms in the Georgia State Assembly. Significant historical details about the Yellow River community can be researched through first-person accounts recorded in the Gwinnett Herald, such as this description in an 1874 newspaper advertisement.
This is a very desirable location. It is located on the public and stage road from Lawrenceville to Stone Mountain, about equally distant from both places, in a thriving, industrious, intelligent, moral, hospitable community, about 1/4 of a mile from Yellow River Baptist Church, with several other churches near and accessible. It is convenient to a good store, all always stocked with an assortment of any desired quality and kinds of goods. It is near Yellow River, but is upon an elevated ridge, affording the purest air and water, and therefore healthy.
The purity of air and water was of great concern in the 1800s because diseases were believed to spread through bad air, otherwise known as miasma, found near swamps or other unsanitary conditions. The Hudson-Nash Farmhouse was built around 1838 and has had several additions and renovations over the years. In 2019, the house was moved from one side of Five Forks Trickum Road to the other, uniting all the Yellow River historic structures in one location. The house was built in the plantation plain style, and additional rooms were added in the 1880s. The gables were added to the original house in 1911, but have since been removed to reflect the original 1840s design of the house. It was here that Thomas Hudson lived with his wife Lucinda and their children Pamela, Franklin, Nancy, and Thomas Jr. The small building to the right of the farmhouse is a rare remaining example of a kitchen house. It was once a common practice to build a home's kitchen in a separate structure detached from the main house, ensuring that any fires that started in the kitchen would not immediately spread to the rest of the house. By 1860, 13 enslaved African American workers lived on the Hudson plantation. To house these slaves, Mr. Hudson constructed 2 cabins, and one of the cabins still stands, though heavily restored. The cabin is in a style commonly used throughout the South, generally with a single room and possibly a loft. The names of the enslaved persons who lived here are not known, but it is hoped that further research will uncover more of these historical details. Hudson's store, also known as the Yellow River Post Office, was a focal point of community activity as far back as the 1830s. It was where residents purchased essential provisions such as wheat and cornmeal, sugar, salt, cloth, and other items, as well as a place for receiving mail and the latest news. Built in the two-room vernacular style, the store building began with just the front room, which was built sometime around 1838. With a front porch the whole width of the building, as was popular for general stores. Hundreds of nails pepper the boards on the front porch of the post office. We believe these were used to hang things like political notices, wanted posters, and advertisements for various goods. By 1845, the original structure was nearly doubled in size to accommodate Hudson's growing mercantile business. You can see in this photo of the back of the general store the original location of the white Hudson-Nash farmhouse, prior to its removal to its current location on the other side of Five Forks Trickum Road. At one time, the post office may even have housed a school called the Yellow River Academy, advertised in the 1870s by Mr. T.E. Daniel, principal, who wrote about his plans. I have taken the dwelling and buildings formerly owned by Thomas P. Hudson, Esquire, and am fitting up his storeroom for educational purposes, in which I will open on the first Monday in January 1874 a school for the instruction of children and youth in the various branches of an English education and the rudiments of the Latin language. My house being large will enable me to take several boarders. It is not known if Mr. Daniel ever succeeded in establishing the Yellow River Academy or if he enrolled any students or boarders as planned. A few years later, in 1877, another Gwinnett Herald advertisement recalls there also being on the post office premises the new Yellow River Mill, known previously as Nash's Mill. The undersigned has recently taken charge of the mills formerly known as Nash's Mills, situated at Yellow River Post Office. The mills are being put in first-class repair for wheat and corn. I respectfully solicit the patronage of the public and intend to give full satisfaction. I will also keep up a blacksmith shop for custom work and a machine shop for the repair of wagons, buggies, and the manufactured order of sash, blinds, doors, and dressing lumber. The gin will be put in fine order and run during the season. This June 12, 1877. Signed, W.B. Fields. In addition to the historical buildings, the Yellow River Post Office site offers other amenities for the benefit of visitors, including free parking, picnic tables, benches, a boardwalk, and walking trails. Research for this film used books such as these available from the Gwinnett County Public Library, as well as other library resources such as the Historic Georgia Newspapers database, and information available through Ancestry.com, FamilySearch.org, and other databases. All are available free of charge to Gwinnett County residents who have a library card. We hope you will consider using library resources to conduct research into the history of your own family or neighborhood. If you need research assistance, just ask the staff at any of our 15 branches of Gwinnett County Public Library.